Good health, Achilles. We have not had to go without our share of feasts, either in Agamemnon's hut, Atreus' son, or here, for you've prepared a richly satisfying meal. But now our business is not pleasant banqueting, for we are staring at a great disaster. And, my lord, we are afraid, in a quandary, whether we can save our well-decked ships or whether they will be destroyed, unless you put on your warlike power once again. For haughty Trojans and their famous allies have camped close to the ships, and barricade, and lit many fires throughout their army. They claim nothing can prevent them now from attacking our black ships, and Zeus, son of Cronos, has sent them his signal, on their right a lightning flash. Hector, exulting hugely in his power in a terrifying manic frenzy, puts his faith in Zeus, fears neither man nor god. A killing passion has possessed him. He prays for holy dawn to come quickly, vowing he'll hack apart the high sterns of our ships, burn them in destructive fire, and by those very ships kill the Achaeans driven out in desperation by the smoke. I have a dreadful fear deep in my heart that the gods will make good all his boasting, seal our fate to perish here in Troy, far away from Argos, where horses breed. So rouse yourself, late though it is, if you've a mind to save the Achaeans from their suffering at this Trojan onslaught. If not, you'll suffer future agonies. You won't find any cure for such despair. Before that happens, you should think about how to help the Argives at this evil hour. My friend, that day your father Peleus sent you off, away from Tyre, to join Agamemnon. Didn't he say this? My son, Athenian hero, will give you power if they so wish, but you must check that overbearing spirit in your chest. It's better to show goodwill, to give up malicious quarrelling. Then Achaeans, young and old, will respect you all the more. That's what your old father said, advice which you've forgotten. So, even now you should stop, cease this heart-corroding rage. For if you will mitigate your anger, Agamemnon will give you worthy gifts. If you will hear the list, then I'll repeat what Agamemnon has promised to you. All gifts are in his huts. 7 tripods, which fire has not yet touched, 10 gold talents, 20 shining cauldrons, 12 strong horses whose speed has triumphed, earned them prizes. A man who's won as much as Agamemnon from racing these sure-footed animals would not be poor or lack possessions or precious gold. Then he will add to this 7 women of Lesbos skilled in crafts, whom he chose for himself when you captured well-built Lesbos. They surpass all women for their beauty. These he will present to you, with them the one he seized from you, Briseis, daughter of Briseus. He'll solemnly swear he never once went up into her bed or had sex with her, as is men's custom, where men and women are concerned. All these things you will receive immediately. If gods grant that we destroy Priam's great city, when we Achaeans allocate the spoils, you may come and load your ship with gold, with bronze, as much as you desire. You may choose 20 Trojan women for yourself, the loveliest after Argive Helen. If we get back to the rich land of Argos, you can then become his son-in-law. He'll honor you just as he does Orestes, his son, whom he dearly loves. He's being raised in great prosperity. In his well-built home he has 3 daughters, Chrysothemis, Iphianessa, and Laodice. You can take whichever one you choose back home as your wife to Peleus' house and pay no bridal gift. He'll give much more to bring about your reconciliation, a dowry bigger than any man so far has ever handed over with his daughter. He'll give you 7 populous cities, Cardamyle, Enope, grassy Here, holy Pherae, fertile Anthea, lovely Epea, and vine-rich Pedasus, all near the sea beside sandy Pylos. People living in these places possess many sheep and cattle, and will honor you, and give you gifts as if you were a god. Under your laws and scepter they'll do well. He will give all this if you will abate your anger. But if your heart still resents Atreus' son and his gifts, then take pity on all Achaeans, our exhausted soldiers. They will pay you honours like a god. Among them you'll earn enormous glory, for now you might kill Hector, who may well approach you. He's so obsessed with slaughter. He thinks there's not a warrior his equal among Danaans brought here in our ships." Swift-footed Achilles then answered Odysseus, "Divinely born son of Laertes, resourceful Odysseus, I must be blunt about what I think and where all this will lead, so you do not sit there and, one by one, try to entice me with sweet promises. I hate, like the gates of hell, any man who says one thing while thinking something else which stays hidden in his mind. So I'll declare what in my view it's best for me to say. I don't believe that Agamemnon, Atreus' son, or any other Argive will persuade me, for no thanks are given to the man who always fights without rest against the enemy. Whether one fights or stays behind, the shares are still the same. Coward and brave man both get equal honor. Death treats idle and active men alike. I've won nothing for all I've suffered, battling on, pain in my heart, with my life always under threat. Just as a bird takes scraps of food, whatever she can find, to her fledglings, but herself eats little, so have I lain without sleep many nights, persevered through bloody days of fighting, in battling men in wars about their wives. With ships I've seized 12 towns and killed their men. On land, in the area of fertile Troy, I claim 11 more. From all these I took fine treasure, lots of it, brought it to Agamemnon, Atreus' son. I gave it all to him. He stayed back at the swift ships. He shared very little of what he got, keeping most of it for his own use. He gave prizes to the best of men, the kings, and they hung on to them. From me alone he stole away a prize, a woman whom I love. Let him have his pleasure in bed with her. Why must Argives fight against the Trojans? Why did Atreus' son collect an army and lead it here, if not for fair-haired Helen? Are Atreus' sons the only mortal men who love their wives? Every good and prudent man loves his wife and cares for her, as my heart loved that girl, though captured with my spear. Since he's taken my prize out of my hands and cheated me, let him not try to take another thing from me. I know him too well. He'll never persuade me to agree. But Odysseus, let him rely on you and other kings as well to save his ships from fiery destruction. He has done much without me already. He's built a wall, constructed a large wide ditch around it, and fixed stakes inside. But for all these things he's not been able to check the power of man-killing Hector. When I fought beside Achaeans, Hector wasn't eager to push the battle far from his own walls. He came out only to the Scaean gates and to the oak tree. Once he met me there alone, he barely got away from my attack. But now I don't want to fight Lord Hector. Tomorrow I'll make holy sacrifice to Zeus, to all the gods, and load my ships. Once I've dragged them down into the sea, you'll see if you wish, if you're interested. Tomorrow my ships will be sailing off, on the fish-filled Hellespont, men rowing with great eagerness. And if Poseidon, famous earth-shaker, gives us fair sailing, in 3 days I'll reach fertile Phthia. There I own many things I left behind when I made this disastrous trip to Troy. I'll take back from here more gold, red bronze, fair women, grey iron, all I captured. But mighty Agamemnon, Atreus' son, in his arrogance seized back from me the prize which he awarded. Tell him that. Repeat in public everything I say, so other Achaeans will grow angry, if he, still clothed in shamelessness, hopes at any time to deceive some Argive. Cur that he is, he doesn't dare confront me face to face. I'll discuss no plans with him, no actions. He cheated me, betrayed me. His words will cheat no more. To hell with him. Let him march to his death by his own road, for Counsellor Zeus has stolen his wits. I hate his gifts, and he's not worth a damn. Not even if he gave me 10 times, no 20 times more than all he owns right now, or will possess in future, not even all the wealth amassed in Orchomenus or Egyptian Thebes, where huge treasures sit piled up in houses, that city of gates, 100 of them, Through each can ride 200 men, horses and chariots altogether, not even if he gave me gifts as numerous as grains of sand by the sea or particles of dust. Not for all that would Agamemnon win my heart, not until he satisfies me in full for all my heartfelt bitter pain. I'll never take as wife any daughter of Agamemnon, son of Atreus, not even if her beauty rivals that of golden Aphrodite, or her skill in crafts equals bright-eyed Athene's. I will not marry her. Let him select another Achaean, someone like himself, a more prestigious king than me. For me, if the gods keep me safe and I get home, Peleus himself will find me a wife. There are plenty of Achaean women in Hellas and in Thea, daughters of lords, men who govern cities. From them I'll choose the one I want to make my cherished wife. My heart has often felt a strong desire to take a woman there as my own wife, someone suitable for marriage, to enjoy the riches which old Peleus has acquired. Life is worth more to me than all the wealth they say was stored in well-built Ilion some time ago, when they were still at peace, before the sons of Achaea came, more than all the treasures of the archer Phoebus Apollo stacked on the stone floor in rocky Pytho. Men can steal cattle, fat sheep, get tripods, herds of sorrel horses, but no man gets his life back, not by theft or plunder, once it has flown out of him, passed beyond the barrier of his teeth. My goddess mother, silver-footed Thetis, has said 2 fates may bring about my death. If I remain here, continuing the fight against the Trojan city, that means I won't be going home, but my glory will never die. But if I go back home, my fame will die, though my life will last a long time. Death will not end it quickly. And so I encourage all the rest of you to sail back home. You'll not attain your goal, steep Ilion, for far-seeing Zeus shields that city with his hand. Its people have confidence in that. Thus you should go. Report this message to Achaean leaders. That's the privilege of senior men. Their minds must come up with some better plan to save the Achaean fleet and army beside the hollow ships. The one they've got won't work, since anger still keeps me away. Let Phoenix stay here with me, sleep here, so tomorrow he may join our voyage to his dear native land if that's his wish. For I will not take him back by force.